Hello there, dearest viewer, and welcome back to my little corner of the YouTubers. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, this is my opening statement. This is the opening statement that should have played on my discussion with Matt Powell, but for technical difficulties, and I'm willing to bet more than 50 pence here that the technical difficulties were coming from my side, because this is a computer that I bought from a guy called Noah, who builds ships for Invisible Sky Daddies. So, yeah, this is my opening statement. It contains photographs and citations, etc., etc. So what I would like you guys to do is let me know in the comments if I got anything wrong, because I'd hate to go forward thinking that I got things right and then put them things in a video and then somebody coming back to me saying, well, you got that wrong, Mr. Jones. Anyway, but what I'd like you to do anyway is just, if you like it, even just pop it in the comments below, and that would be fantastic. Thank you all. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on Kent Owen's channel. It's not something that I normally do because I'm not subscribed to him. I don't particularly look at it with any interest whatsoever, because no doubt I'll feature on his Whacking Atheist Wednesday sometime, and I'm looking forward to her heavily edited version of our discussion coming from Matt Powell's channel. So look out for those as well, and let me know if you see anything with my discussion on it, any channels with my discussion on it, let me know. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget Wacky Wednesday. Don't forget a live stream on Friday starting at 7 p.m, and don't forget a Sunday Stupid video on Sunday at 8 p.m. also. So for now, sit back, enjoy my dulcet tones for the next 7.5 minutes or what have you, and I will see you very soon. Alrighty? Ta-ra for a bit. Now, I am the first to admit that my knowledge of evolution is extremely limited. I've never claimed to be an expert on the subject, nor have I claimed to have studied the subject to any accepted academic standard. In light of this startling revelation, I must put my trust in the hands of the experts and list the evidence that convinced me that evolution is true and scientifically accurate. And I say this with absolute confidence because I have found no other scientific evidence to explain how life evolved on this planet other than the theory of evolution. Now, evidence for evolution. Why not transitional fossils? Right, probably the best and probably the most famous transitional fossil is Archaeopteryx, which was a genus of bird-like dinosaurs that lived between 150 and 125 million years ago in the early Tithonian stage of the late Jurassic period. Now, paleontologists regard Archaeopteryx as a transitional fossil between dinosaurs and modern-day birds. So how do we know that Archaeopteryx and modern birds are related? Well, they share many characteristics. For instance, feathers, the facula, which is the wishbone. They have wings, obviously, and reduced fingers. These are all characteristics and similarities that Archaeopteryx shares with modern birds. I've got an image up here that shows Compsognathus to Archaeopteryx to Gallus, and I've also credited that source as well, so you can go and check this out for yourselves. So, in conclusion, there's enough similarities between Archaeopteryx and modern birds to convince paleontologists that they are indeed related. I must apologise for my squeaky chair, I'm awfully sorry. Now, another example of a transitional species is Pachycetus. Now, we do know through fossil records that Pachycetus once walked on land, but how is that related to modern day whales? Now, Pachycetus was discovered in Pakistan and lived during the Eocene period about 58 million years ago. And although it primarily lived its life on land, it is linked as a whale relative through its unique inner ear shape. Now, only whales have such an enhanced region of the ear called an auditory bulla, and Pachycetus had this too. This is an image that I've obviously credited there, and it shows the evolution from Pachycetus to modern day whales. And like before, and also as before, this is enough evidence to convince me, and obviously paleontologists, that Pachycetus is indeed the ancestor of modern day whales. Now, on to one of the reasons why I wanted this discussion to happen. Now, Matt Powell claims that evolution teaches that dinosaurs farted themselves into extinction. This is simply not the case, and I'm going to show evidence that this is not what evolution teaches at all. Now, one piece of evidence that Matt Powell uses in his claim that dinosaurs, or evolution teaches that dinosaurs ferreted themselves into extinction, is a woman in a dressing gown talking to the camera. This woman says that dinosaurs produced a lot of greenhouse gases, created an ice age, and that's why they died out. Now, this woman doesn't have a name apparently, so I can't speak to her, and so I don't know if she's got any qualifications either. But simply going on camera and saying, yes, dinosaurs ferreted themselves to death, doesn't make it true. I could go on camera right now, or I could say right now to you guys, I've seen a unicorn fly past the window. It doesn't make it true. Now, another citation that Matt Powell uses is a clip from a news programme that reads out an article from Fox News. Now, the three British scientists in question, I've got the names written down here, Ewan G. Nisbet, Dr. Graham Ruxton and David Wilkinson, did write a paper on dinosaur emissions, but nowhere in that paper does it claim that this caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. Now, I've got the summary of that very paper right here, and obviously I've credited it as well. Mesozoic sauropods, like many herbivores, are likely to have hosted microbial methanogenic symbionts for the fermentative digestion of their plant food. Today, methane from livestock is a significant component of the global methane budget. Sauropod methane emission would probably also have been considerable. Here we use a simple quantitative approach to estimate the magnitude of such methane production and show that the production of the greenhouse gas methane by sauropods could have been an important factor in warm Mesozoic climates. Now, another citation that Matt Powell uses is a clip from what he calls a kid's cartoon. Now, I can't find the original clip, but I did manage to find a video that is several seconds longer than the clip that Matt Powell uses. Now, in those missing seconds, it implies that the dino fart segment is part of a longer video, giving many different reasons why the dinosaurs died out. Now, I did turn on the subtitles and take a quick screenshot, and as you can see there, before this came up, before this particular scene, it said that the dinosaurs died out millions and millions of years ago this Tuesday, and as you can see from the subtitles there were many reasons for this, and here is just one of them, number 63. So that obviously implies that this part, or this particular segment, is part of a longer video. So as you can see on this image, I've credited Nick the T-Rex's YouTube channel, and on his channel it shows lots of reasons as to why the dinosaurs died out. None of them can be taken seriously. For example, there is one video on there that says Dino Death Circus Act. So obviously these so-called theories shouldn't be taken seriously. Now, on to the final reason why I wanted this discussion to happen. Surfing monkeys. Now, fossilized teeth of the Eucalypithecus monkey were found in Peru. The teeth are from a newly discovered species belonging to an extinct family of African primates known as parapithecids. Now, fossils discovered earlier at the same site in Peru offered the first real proof that South American primates were indeed, or did indeed, evolve from African primates. So, how did they get from Africa to South America? Now, the theory is, or one of the explanations is, in the absence of any other explanation, is that they surf there, but not on rafts or inflatable balloons or what have you, or bits of seaweed. No, because I do agree with Matt Powell here, that sounds preposterous, obviously. But in my opinion, they got there on enormous land masses, if you will, that broke off from the coast of Africa. Now, as you can see from this screenshot, I've taken from a YouTube video called Flooding Causes, or Flooding Closes the Panama Canal. You can clearly see an enormous mass, or an enormous landmass, with upright trees, plenty of vegetation, just floating down the Panama Canal. So, it seems perfectly plausible that such a landmass could have snapped away from Africa, and with favourable winds and favourable currents, made the journey across the Atlantic, because obviously we know back then the seas were a bit lower and the continents were a bit closer together. This concludes my opening statement, and thank you all so much for listening.